Trinidad and Tobago were once home to ancient people called the First Peoples. These early inhabitants left an indelible mark on the islands, shaping the cultural and historical landscape that we see today. They arrived by canoe from South America around 5000 BC. This journey was a testament to their resilience and navigational skills, as they braved the open waters to find a new home. These skilled hunters and fishermen thrived on the islands for centuries. They utilized the rich natural resources available to them, developing sophisticated methods for hunting and fishing that sustained their communities. They lived in villages and developed their own unique culture. Their social structures were complex, with each village having its own leaders and traditions. Cultural dances and rituals played a significant role in their daily lives, reflecting their deep connection to nature and the spiritual world. The First Peoples left behind pottery, tools, and other artifacts that tell their story. These items provide valuable insights into their way of life, their craftsmanship, and their ingenuity. Archaeological digs continue to uncover new artifacts, adding to our understanding of their rich history. These early inhabitants called Trinidad Iere, which means land of the hummingbird. The name reflects the island's abundant wildlife and the significance of the hummingbird in their culture. Tobago was known as Alubaera, possibly meaning land of the great reefs. The island's coral reefs were not only a source of food, but also held cultural and spiritual significance for the First Peoples. The First Peoples' presence is still felt today in place names and archaeological sites. These sites are a testament to their enduring legacy and offer a glimpse into their lives and traditions. Their legacy is an important part of Trinidad and Tobago's history. The cultural heritage of the First Peoples is celebrated through various events, museums, and historical sites, ensuring that their contributions are remembered and honored for generations to come.
In 1498, Christopher Columbus landed on Trinidad, claiming it for Spain. This marked the beginning of a new era for the island, one that would see significant changes in its social, economic, and cultural fabric. The arrival of Europeans marked a turning point in the island's history. The indigenous peoples, who had lived there for centuries, were suddenly faced with new challenges and opportunities brought by these foreign settlers. The Spanish established settlements and began to exploit the island's resources. They built towns and cities, introducing European architectural styles that can still be seen in some of Trinidad's oldest buildings today. They introduced new crops like cocoa and tobacco, which would become important economic staples for the island. These crops not only changed the landscape, but also the economy, as they became major exports. To work these plantations, the Spanish brought enslaved Africans who were forced to labor under brutal conditions. This introduction of African slaves had a profound impact on the demographic and cultural makeup of Trinidad. The Spanish established the city of San Jose de Oruna in 1592, making it Trinidad's first capital. This city became the administrative and economic center of Spanish Trinidad. However, Spanish rule was often harsh for the indigenous population. The Spanish imposed their own systems of governance and labor, which were foreign and oppressive to the native peoples. Many First Peoples died from diseases brought by the Europeans. These diseases, such as smallpox and influenza, were devastating as the indigenous populations had no immunity to them. Others were forced into labor, working in mines, fields, and construction projects. This forced labor system disrupted their traditional ways of life and caused significant suffering. The Spanish presence dramatically changed the cultural landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. Over time, a unique blend of Spanish, African, and indigenous cultures emerged, creating a rich and diverse cultural heritage that is still celebrated today. The legacy of this period is evident in the island's festivals, cuisine, and traditions, which reflect a fusion of these different influences.
In the 18th century, sugarcane became a major crop in Trinidad. The lush, fertile lands of the island were perfect for cultivating this sweet commodity, which was in high demand across Europe. Sugar was not just a crop. It was a symbol of wealth and power, driving the economies of many Caribbean islands. The British, eager for a share of the lucrative sugar trade, captured Trinidad in 1797. This strategic move was part of their broader colonial ambitions in the Caribbean. The island's potential for sugar production made it a valuable asset, and the British were determined to exploit it to the fullest. They abolished the slave trade in 1807, a significant step towards ending the inhumane practice. However, this did not mean the end of slavery itself. The British continued to rely on the labor of enslaved Africans to maintain their plantations and keep the sugar industry thriving. The plantation economy thrived on the backs of enslaved Africans. These men, women, and children were forced to work long hours under grueling conditions, with little regard for their well-being. Their labor was the backbone of the sugar industry, driving the profits that enriched their colonial masters. African slaves endured brutal conditions and fought for their freedom. They faced harsh punishments, inadequate food, and relentless work schedules. Despite these hardships, they found ways to resist their oppressors and assert their humanity. Their resistance took many forms, from work slowdowns to open rebellion. Some slaves sabotaged equipment, others ran away, and some even led armed uprisings. These acts of defiance were a testament to their resilience and desire for freedom. The enslaved Africans brought their own cultures, traditions, and religions to Trinidad and Tobago. They held on to their heritage, passing down stories, songs, and rituals from generation to generation. This cultural retention was a source of strength and identity for the enslaved community. These traditions blended with European and indigenous influences, creating the unique cultural mix we see today. The rich tapestry of Trinidad and Tobago's culture is a testament to the enduring legacy of its African, European, and indigenous roots, celebrated in vibrant festivals and everyday life.
After the abolition of slavery in 1834, plantation owners needed new sources of labor. They turned to indentured laborers from India. Between 1845 and 1917, over 140,000 Indians arrived in Trinidad and Tobago. They worked on sugar plantations and in other industries. Indian indentureship brought new cultural and religious practices to the islands. Hinduism and Islam became significant religions in Trinidad and Tobago. Indian foods, music, and festivals became part of the national fabric. The arrival of the Indians further diversified the island's cultural landscape.
Section 5. The Road to Freedom. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, the people of Trinidad and Tobago fought for greater autonomy. Labor unrest and calls for self-determination grew stronger. Leaders emerged, demanding an end to colonial rule. In 1956, Trinidad and Tobago achieved internal self-government. Dr. Eric Williams, a prominent historian and political leader, became the island's first prime minister. He led the country towards full independence from Great Britain. Section 6. Independence and Beyond. On August 31, 1962, Trinidad and Tobago gained independence from Great Britain. This historic moment marked the beginning of a new era for the nation. In 1976, Trinidad and Tobago became a republic within the Commonwealth of Nations. The country has faced challenges and triumphs since independence. It has developed its oil and gas industry, becoming a significant player in the Caribbean economy. Trinidad and Tobago has also played an important role in regional and international affairs. Section 7. A Tapestry of Cultures. Trinidad and Tobago is a melting pot of cultures. The legacy of its diverse history is evident in its people, languages, and traditions. English is the official language, but Hindi, French Creole, and Spanish are also spoken. The islands are a vibrant mix of African, Indian, European, and indigenous influences. This cultural fusion is reflected in the nation's music, dance, food, and festivals. Section 8. Carnival, a celebration of freedom. Carnival is the most famous celebration in Trinidad and Tobago. It is an explosion of color, music, and dance held annually before Lent. Carnival originated from traditions brought by enslaved Africans. During Carnival, the streets come alive with masquerade bands, steel pan music, and elaborate costumes. It is a time for celebration, freedom of expression, and national pride. Section 9. Culinary Delights.
The diverse cultural heritage of Trinidad and Tobago is evident in its cuisine. The islands offer a tantalizing array of flavors and dishes. From spicy curries to savory stews, there is something to please every palate. Popular dishes include doubles, which are fried flatbread filled with curried chickpeas, roti, a soft flatbread, and callaloo, a soup made with dasheen leaves. The food of Trinidad and Tobago is a delicious reflection of its history and cultural fusion.
Section 10. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Today, Trinidad and Tobago is a vibrant democracy and a significant cultural center in the Caribbean. The nation has made significant strides in education, healthcare, and economic development. Trinidad and Tobago faces challenges such as crime and social inequality. However, the nation remains resilient, drawing strength from its diverse heritage and the indomitable spirit of its people. The islands continue to captivate visitors with their natural beauty, warm hospitality, and unique cultural tapestry. From the lush rainforests to the pristine beaches, Trinidad and Tobago offers a truly unforgettable Caribbean experience.